From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big noontime crashing in on your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. It's Sunday, and in this recording, we'll go over the incredible great news about your monthly stimulus check, that fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get from those Democrats in the House and Senate and the President, and when you're going to get it. And we're going to go over all the incredible breaking news, including the reconciliation process, the push to the finish line, and the major deal. Biden did it less than 24 hours ago. Wow, it is wonderful. Then the second half of this video, we'll be going over the fifth stimulus check. Yes, there is a fifth one. The raising up of your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits, and the additional $1 billion allocation you're going to be very excited to hear about. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the thousands of dollars you can get right now. I'm excited for you to get it. We're going to get it on this noontime here on Sunday. It's a big, beautiful day. Let's get to all the breaking news in this extended noontime broadcast, starting right now. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. I hope you're crushing the weekend. Did you crush the weekend? I am wearing Sunday red, hoping that crypto goes down. Or I win a golf tournament. One of the two. But hope the weather is good where you are. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And tell me how the weather is. It is sunny, very sunny, and getting unfortunately too hot here in Southern California. Here, live with you from Santa Monica. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today on noontime, we'll be going over the monthly stimulus check that the President, the House, the Senate, and the print media all want you to have. They're all talking about it, and we'll be talking about it in this video. Then we'll be turning to fifth stimulus that has another stimulus check in there as well. We'll be going over the details of that, and the $1 billion breaking news, and the CPI breaking news, and the raising up of your benefits, and all that and more. Then in the middle of the recording, we go over the thousands of dollars you can get right now. But first, subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Live in the morning, like right now, and then taped in the afternoon. I'm next back with you at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with Afternoons LALATE. OMG, that's going to be a big show tonight. I want you to join in for that show. It's 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, followed by Evenings LA. That is even going to be more of a blockbuster show. Get ready for an OMG telecast in that. That's at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Followed at 5:30 by Overnights Crypto, Evenings Crypto, and then our Overnights programming. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps. And let's get right to the details about the House bill and the Senate proposal on your fourth stimulus package. Everyone's talking about it, and we're going to be talking about it right now. It starts with the House bill. Stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. Senate proposal, July to December, monthly. Yes. Let's go over the monthly payouts. Okay, House, $1,000 the first, $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. The Senate amount on a monthly basis, unknown, but word on the street is this. Wow, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person. Yes, a person. $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400 a person. Now, if you're in the live chat just after 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're tuning in from. But first, let's go over this. Many insiders think that the pandemic may be reduced to a conclusion that it's over for legislative purposes, and that would mean that the House bill from Jalapal would be 1 year, not pandemic plus 1 year. Jalapal's House bill provides $13,000 for 1 year over 12 months. Let's compare that to this from the senators over 6 months. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion, and I mean about the stimulus. House or Senate, not an opinion about me or the flowers or the shirt. The House or Senate, which one you like? House or Senate, jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Let's go over the details of what the Democrats want you to have. They want everyone who got a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you get a fourth stimulus check from the Democrats. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get a fourth stimulus check from the Democrats. Double it. Household of 4 or less, you get a stimulus check from the Democrats. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, you get a stimulus check from the Democrats. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, you get it. Stimulus checks are not waivable, so don't wave at it. It won't wave back, and so don't feel guilty. It's not a rude check. It just doesn't wave. Hi, check. How rude, doesn't wave back. It's a monthly check. It's not waivable. Does not come out in waves. The stimulus check is not taxable, does not call for income. It's not taxable because it's not income. And the Democrats want the same stimulus check for everyone, adult dependents, minor dependents as well. The Democrats would call the final vote in the reconciliation process July 4th. That means that you would get that first stimulus check in July for July, in the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. Everyone's talking about your fourth stimulus check. The Democrats in the House, the President, the Senate, everyone and the print media, except the people, not giving you a stimulus check. GOP and the conservative media, not talking about because they're not giving you a stimulus check. But there you go. That's the first of 3 parts of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in this recording. This is an extended recording, so stay with me. I got a lot more about this fourth stimulus, including the big deal the president just did. Oh, this is good. But first, let's turn to fifth stimulus and a preview coming up in the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over the fifth stimulus check. Yes, there will be a fifth stimulus check. 2, the raising up of your benefits. Wow. SSI, SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits. 3, the great news about that benchmark of inflation because of the consumer price index number released on Thursday. I'll explain. It's wonderful news. And then the great news about $1 billion allocated to the system, so I'll no longer have to make a video for you. When am I getting my stimulus check on Direct Express by Comerica? I'm not a fan of saying that word Comerica. It's like so many syllables. Comerica, yeah. So I won't have to make those videos anymore because there's $1 billion allocation. But now let's get some big money, get that pen and paper ready, or if you do care, a Crayola crown, so long as it marches the red. I have big money to get for you throughout the rest of this video, and starting right now. Thousands and thousands of dollars. When third stimulus was passed, I told you you're going to get $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in addition to a stimulus check. Well, guess what? That money is now landing. It's $350 billion for rent, renters, utilities, homeowners, mortgage, and homeowners, utilities. And it's landing that $350 billion from the federal government in the city, counties, and states for you this week and next week. $350 billion for you. Well, not just all for you. What do you think this is? Powerball? No, that's on Fridays or Saturdays. No, this is LALATE ball. So let's go over where this money is. Get that pen and paper ready. Every place has different eligibility. And if you get a no at one, reach out to the next. You'll get a yes. They also have different pots of money. You ready? Here we go. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. You're going to reach out and ask for rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. Or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're like, oh, sir, that's Bravo. You've reached the wrong channel. No, you need to say the correct words. All right, but guess what? That rent is about $5,000. Oh, 4 to 6 months of rent, $5,000. Tim and Linda got some money for this, but there's more money for you as well. If you're new to this channel, this is what I do. I get people money. We aren't tracking checks. We're cashing checks. I got people $25 million of EIDL loans to save their business and their homes and their employees' homes last year. But then in fall of 2020, we didn't see second stimulus yet going out or even passed. So I stepped up and I got you $250,000 for rent and utilities. Now it's time for you to get this big money. And you are killing it. One viewer on Monday said she got $7,000 of SNAP. Another viewer overnight said I got raised from $200 to $350 a month, which is a lot of money for SNAP for one person. What is it? It's SNAP. It is the wonderful SNAP from the Department of Agriculture. Where do you get it from? Department of Agriculture. What is it? Food. Money for your food. How much money is it? Well, a family of four in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow. Why so much? Because of two executive orders that are wonderful. One from Trump and one from Biden that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, for her son, and her mom. Gail got it for herself. And now it's your turn to get as well. There you go. $16,000 for SNAP for a family of four in Hawaii. $5,000 for rent, and we are killing it, and we are only 10 minutes into this video. Well, I got $5,000 of more for you. And it's coming back from your states. What is this for? The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance due to computer error. Not your computer. Your computer works fine. It's their darn computer. And then the federal government saying, wait a second, were you ordered to return it back to your state? And you were. Well, the federal government has said, nope. It was your money to keep and now has ordered the states to return the money back to you. Congratulations. One viewer got $5,000 for it. How are you going to get it? To the count on file automatically that you have with the Department of Unemployment in your state. When? Reach out to your states for respective routing times. All right, the next pot of money, I got a very nice message from two viewers overnight. One on Facebook by Insta message said he got it. Michael, he got the money and he got a little bit more than expected. What is it? It is the money coming back for your tax refund. Yes, a lot of viewers are getting this. We're going to go over how much it is, when you get it, how you get it, and how to track it. What is it? It is the amount you paid to IRS on that 2020 return of your taxes. Let's go over an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment assistance. Your total tax bill was $5,000 on the 2020 tax return to IRS, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment assistance. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. When? In the month of June. Where? Direct deposit if that was what was on your tax return. Otherwise, in the mail on a mail check. How can I track it? 70% of the time you can track it. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password. You will see the name, your tax return, your payment to IRS, and that refund check coming. Oh boy, that is good news. Can we top it? We can, with the second of three parts of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 in this noontime extended broadcast for Sunday, starting right now. Biden has done it. Biden did it on Friday when he signed into law an ancillary international treaty for forced stimulus. It is absolutely wonderful because now he can remove parts from the forced stimulus package that he no longer needs in there because now it's international law. And he anchors forced stimulus right to the edge of the finish line by passing this international law. It's incredible, great news, and I'm going to go over it with you right now. It starts with understanding where we are right now. We're currently under reconciliation. Everyone's talking about your forced stimulus check. The Democrats in the House, the Democrats in the Senate, the president, the print media, and me. What are they saying? Currently working on the draft of the bill. Exciting. Calling the final vote by July 4th. Oh, and going to pass by July 4th. Okay, so where did we start? Well, we started the Friday before Memorial Day weekend with this news announcement from Chuck Schumer, confirming not one but three details which I have been reporting on this channel, which is number one, the reconciliation process had already begun. Number two, it will be passed. Number three, and it will pass by July 4th. Wow. Now, how do we get to that? Jalopal again. There you go. There's Jalopal. Jalopal had written Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. But more importantly, who signed the letter? 12 House Democrats, who are among the 100-plus House Democrats who had previously written the president a letter saying that when forced stimulus is written up, we're going to put monthly stimulus checks in there like Jalopal's bill. Oh, my goodness. Can we top that? We can. When a week ago, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter and said, when we write the forced stimulus checks, we're going to put them in there monthly for the American people. Glad to inform you about that, Mr. President. Who are these people to say that? What do you mean they write it? Who are they? What do they do? They're on the subcommittee that is solely and exclusively responsible in the House for writing stimulus check legislation in the United States. Did they write the first stimulus check? They did. Did they write the second stimulus check? They did. Did they write the third stimulus check? They did. And now they're saying they're going to write the fourth? Yes, and they say they're going to write the fifth stimulus check. Get out of here. Are you serious? Yes, that's coming up in the second half of this video. It's really getting exciting. Oh my goodness. And currently, they're marking up the bill, which gets even better than that. Here we go. Biden did it. On Friday, the President of the United States signed into law a legislation that removes elements, that no longer makes elements of the forced stimulus necessary to be passed. He signed into law the international corporate tax rate, what's called the global corporate tax rate, raising it to 15% with the G7 countries, which now anchors the fifth stimulus right to the edge of the finish line. Let me explain how we got there and why this means so much for so many. I started this coverage several weeks ago about the subject matter, saying on a recent Tuesday, something happened that was confusing and I need to slow it down because it is confusing. Well, I'm going to slow it down right now again. Fourth stimulus is paid for by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate, the taxes on U.S. corporations. But once the president had announced it, he had said, I'm worried as your president that by doing this, U.S. corporations may move overseas and try to find a lower corporate tax rate overseas, called the race for the bottom, finding a lower corporate tax rate in another country. So he reached out to the G7 countries that recent Tuesday ago and said, would you tentatively agree to raising the corporate tax rate? And they said yes. He said, good. He went back to his insiders and said, you know what? After fourth stimulus is passed, in September or October, I'll get those G7 countries to sign on the dotted line about this. And then if they do, then I'll come back and remove things from fourth stimulus and drop it lower. Monthly stimulus checks and a lower corporate tax rate closer to where we are? Yes, but it got better than that. This last Friday, not last Friday, but the Friday before that, I told you I saw a buried news article. My job, detailed reporting. Stuff you don't see anywhere else. It was buried. And I said, it says that the president is supposed to meet with the G7 countries on Saturday morning. I have no idea what is going on, but I want all my viewers to tune in to Mornings LALATE Saturday morning, a week ago yesterday. And I delivered the breaking news as soon as it happened. The president had gotten the G7 countries, not after, but before fourth stimulus, to propose to sign, and they did this Friday in person, overseas, a higher global minimum corporate tax rate. By signing this into law on Friday, Biden did it, removing provisions from fourth stimulus that are no longer needed for corporate taxes and anchoring fourth stimulus right to the edge of the finish line by making it a simpler bill to pass. This is brilliant. Rather than leaving it to after fourth stimulus passes, he did it before fourth stimulus, now making it easier for his congressional Democrats to pass it. Oh my goodness. Can we get better than that? We can. With the volunteers. The volunteers are on this channel as viewers just like you to help you get that rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and utilities for homeowners. If you've reached out to get it and you can't find it, don't worry, because it's the only channel that has volunteers, that viewers that help one another. The entire spirit of this channel is me helping you and viewers helping one another. So if you can't find that money, reach out to the community page and the volunteers. Where's the community page? Open the description of this video. Go down the description and you will see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house is a link to the community page, news.lalate.com/community. Click that link and I'll have the delineation of the volunteers, separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram underneath a picture of some kitty cats. Reach out to them and they'll be able to help you find that money. Here's a little bit about them. And coming up in the second half of this recording, the big third section of our fourth stimulus check update in this extended noontime broadcast, and the exciting news about a fifth stimulus check, the raising up of your benefits under fifth stimulus, and the additional $1 billion add-on coming up after 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime LA with exciting details still coming up about your fourth stimulus check of updated 2021, that monthly stimulus check, and fifth stimulus with the fifth stimulus check. How's the weather where you are? And tell me where you're tuning in. This is LA. Noontime live on air. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. I want you to subscribe to this channel, the most comprehensive. I'm next back with you on afternoons LA at 3 p.m. Followed by evenings LA at 5, and then overnights crypto. Don't miss those shows. Subscribe. Also like this video and consider becoming a member. Every like helps. It helps in the algorithm ranking. 3,000 likes. Hit that like button right now. Let's cut into fifth stimulus with the really wonderful news about fifth stimulus. Not one, not two, but three breaking news stories about fifth stimulus. First, yes, another stimulus check round. The 7 House Democrats wrote the president in that letter saying, we're going to put fifth stimulus checks into the fifth stimulus package. To which some viewers have asked, when would this work, and is that overlapping? I don't think it's overlapping. I think what they're thinking is the following. I think they're thinking of doing 4 stimulus for 2021, fifth stimulus checks for 2022. Remember, fifth stimulus goes to a final vote by October, November, and then we got a holiday. It's hard to deliver checks in December. I think they're thinking is the checks start in the month of January. Great news. Number 2, the president this week dedicated $1 billion to the benefits system to ensure you get your payments, your checks, on time without delays, ramping up administration computers and processes. This is wonderful news. If you're with me in February of this year, I made more than enough videos to last a lifetime about Direct Express by Comerica. Where's my card on the where's my stimulus check on the Direct Express card? Why has Direct Express card not updated things? All that type of stuff going away. Why? Because the president knows stimulus checks are on the table. Stimulus checks are heading out. He knows that benefit lifts are in the table, and he needs to make sure these systems work, that people get their money. Finally, fifth stimulus got a real surprise on Thursday. The Consumer Price Index was released for the month of May 2021 on Thursday. What is the CPI, the Consumer Price Index? It tracks prices of goods. We all know they went up. That's obvious. But how much did they go up? Compared to the year before, the May 2021 number was the highest growth rate in 1 year. Oh my goodness. So what does that do for our benefits? This is what you need to know. They're thinking that the inflation rate will be transitory or temporary, meaning that it's going to spike very, very high, the highest in maybe 3 or 4 generations later this year, and then come down and go back to normal. So now let's understand how that impacts your fifth stimulus so wonderfully. They're going to first raise up your benefits, then they're going to remove the asset limit, add the inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over how that works with that breaking news starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. That's you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits. Then they'll apply that benchmark in December. Every December, they apply the benchmark for next year. You either step up or stay the same. Pretty easy on that one. But what's the rate? That's the hard one. Let's say the inflation rate really does peak right where they apply your benefits. That's what you have to hope. You have to hope that peak, that transitory period, that temporary massive spike of the inflation rate is right when they apply your benefits, because look what will happen if it does. If we go from, let's say, 3% to 10% for 2 months, and bam, they apply your benefits at 10%, your benefits will step up 10% lifetime. time. Because once they step you up, they never step you down. That's your benefit level the rest of your existence on planet Earth. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Also, under fifth stimulus, they're going to remove the asset cap that prevents you from having more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away just to get those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to remove the income cap. That's dating back to a 1960s law that says you cannot work and also stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. Going to go away. It's a horrible rule. Love is going to win. You'll be able to marry your longtime love interest and not fear loss of benefits. And if you are married, you'll no longer be penalized by the marriage penalty. Viewers like Sandy and Rob will be able to be married and not worry about the marriage penalty. And there you go. That is your fifth stimulus check updated 2021 today. But it's important to know the following. There's a lot of other stuff in the third stimulus that's money for you. $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in the third stimulus law that's available for you. And if you don't know to apply for it, you don't know it exists, you're never going to get it. How do you know where it is? By becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Members are delivered by me to you every night, a breakdown of everything that's in the third, the fourth, and the fifth stimulus. So you know the money you're entitled to because it's generally application-based. It's delivered from the YouTube community page to you, written by me. And if you have YouTube set up to send alerts to your inbox, your email box, you're going to get there as well. It breaks down third, fourth, and fifth stimulus. All right, let's go back to fourth stimulus in this extended noontime broadcast with three big messages and more updates. First, where we are next week. Second, fake narratives and dissecting them for next week. And finally, purple power push. All right, number one, where are we next week? We are currently in the reconciliation process. It has begun. It will be done by July 4th. One of the questions I'm getting is, when do I see this? When do I see that? From senators or House members. Mostly about senators, I'm hearing that a lot. Here's what I want you to know. This is going to come up in a second when I talk about push. People are very excited or very unexcited when they see it or don't see it in a bill. No, don't do that. Don't do that. People are not so excited about senators sometimes because they say, why aren't they? Some people say, why aren't senators revealing their numbers? Because the vote-a-rama is where there's an element of surprise. They pounce and modify the process. On the other hand, people are very excited about the House because everything is put out in the open. On the other hand, you can't presume that because it's in a bill that you're getting it. So what's important to understand is you should not be aligning yourself to a fate, thinking the fate is already at hand. The reconciliation process is 9 steps, and I'm going to go over those 9 steps right now so you understand those 9 steps and understand where things can get modified and always do get modified. Step 5 and 7 and 8 are the most important steps in this analysis. Number 1, House calls a procedural vote in the subcommittee. Number 2, House floor calls a procedural vote. Number 3, Senate calls a procedural vote. Number 4, the president signs a procedural bill. At that point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. The procedural bill has passed. Time to go back and do the substantive bill. Step 5, I told you that important one, the House subcommittee calls a vote on the substantive bill, which they have been marking up, as we heard earlier in this recording. Well, it's at that point that you hope that those 7 House members have those monthly stimulus checks in there. They may or they may not. Then step 6, the House floor calls the substantive bill for a vote. Step 7 and 8 is when you see what those senators want for you. It's called the 2-day vote-a-rama. During that 2-day vote-a-rama, the senators receive the House bill. If there's stimulus checks in there, they can leave them alone. If there's stimulus checks in there, they can amend them. And if there are no stimulus checks in there from the House, the senators can amend it and add it in there. That's why it's important to stay on top of this, because it's not a fate of destiny. It's not a prophecy or a projection or a tarot card or a guessing game. It's literally a process in flux. And finally, the president signs that into law. Those are the 9 steps. Which brings us then to fake narrative. I fully expect next week you're going to see 1 to 2 different groups talking about their fake narratives. What's the fake narrative? That they've somehow reached an agreement, that they're meeting with people, that they're talking about this and they're talking about that. Nothing for you to be concerned about. Number one, group number one, problem creators. I fully expect the problem creators going to trying to book themselves on broadcast media. That's what they do. What do they do in 2020? Book themselves on broadcast media, talk about second stimulus. How much did they get into second stimulus they wanted? 0. How many press appearances did they appear on broadcast media? I don't know, 300 to 1,000 appearances. I mean, it was insane. How many beautiful color graphics did they have and beautiful things and say that they're negotiating, they're talking? Gazillions. And how much do they deliver for you? 0. Zippo. What they're after is political grandstanding, advancing their political futures, getting book deals, or trying to get themselves reelected. In the case of one of them, I think he did not get reelected. That is group number one with the fake narratives next week. So expect that fake narratives potentially from a group like them, or specifically from them, because they were acting up on Friday. Group number 2, the protagonista and her telenovela. Well, this protagonista and her telenovela have been much a farce. Why? Let's go over. On Friday, when the president leaves U.S. soils for the first time in his presidency to meet with the G7 countries about the corporate tax rate to pay for the forced stimulus, what does the protagonista do? She goes and tries to not have corporate taxes pay for forced stimulus, but taxes on your gasoline at the gas pump. What? The president's overseas meeting with 7 leaders of the most powerful countries to get this done with the corporate tax rate. Why are you even going anywhere near our gasoline at the gas pump, which is expensive enough, honey? That's what she did. That's what she did. And who'd she do it with? The protagonista. She went and met with a handful of exiting Republicans. Republicans that have already quit. These Republicans who have already indicated they're quitting, they're leaving, they're exiting, have offered some of the craziest ideas in the last year for second, third, and fourth stimulus that their party didn't even endorse, the Democrats didn't endorse, the Republicans didn't endorse, the Ron Portmans of the world, the Roy Blouts. These are people on the way out the door because no one supports them now, even in their party. So what did she do? She issued press releases on Friday. And what did the press releases say? That she had an agreement. No, she didn't. For the first time in forced stimulus, we had Republicans and Democrats agreeing upon one thing. This person had no agreement from anyone. Not only did the people not in that room agree upon anything, but they had no authority to agree upon anything. The exiting GOP members like the Blouts and the Portmans in the room did not have authority from Mitch or Kevin McCarthy to do anything for the GOP. And she certainly didn't have approval from the president who's overseas trying to have, the heads of 7 of the most important countries in the world sign legislation about corporate tax rate to suddenly go after your gases at the pump. And she certainly didn't have the approval of Chuck, which I think he was probably pulling out a voodoo doll somewhere. But so I expect her to be back tomorrow talking about everything she's going to do. And then that brings me to the final update about forced stimulus. This morning on Mornings LALATE, I came in with tough love because viewers were telling me, you need to come in with tough love. You need to come in with tough love. And let me tell you what happened before Mornings LALATE, and let me tell you what happened after Mornings LALATE. Going into Mornings LALATE, I saw last night to this morning, over a 12-hour run, how many tweets on social media pushing for forced stimulus? 11. 11. In 12 hours from 2 or 3 people. That is no bueno. That doesn't cut it. That doesn't cut it. And so I came in really hard on Mornings LALATE, and with a lot of tough love, I said, folks, you got to do it. This is your opportunity to push. And right after Mornings LALATE, as soon as I got off camera, 17 tweets in 30 minutes. That is turning the tide, folks. You need to understand this, that this is the opportunity for you to push. This is the opportunity and the only opportunity for you to push. I didn't ask you to push in February, March, or April because it was too early in the process. You can't push in July. It's too late in the process. You can't push in August. It's over. So now is the opportunity to push. Why? They want to hear from you. They want to hear your position on the situation. Now, ultimately, your position and their position are the same, but they want to hear from you because legislators sometimes don't follow through. Some viewers have been very excited by the fact that a bill exists. Hello, Cash Act 2020. There was a bill that was going to give you $3,200 as an adult dependent for a stimulus check. They never even called it for a vote. So you need to know that first, there's often laws passed and they don't send out the money. There's often bills that they write and they never call for a vote. There's often proposals and they never make it a bill, and they often have ideas and they never make it a proposal. You need to be on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, all different platforms, tagging your elected officials, tagging them, hashtag MSE, hashtag Purple Power, sharing these videos, retweeting them, tagging them, calling them up on the phone, calling up your elected officials saying, you need to get this done. Now is the time of the essence. You're working on the legislation. Put it in there. Make sure you push. Why? You got to push. This is not the prophecy channel. We're not looking into a crystal ball and trying to predict the stimulus future. We're trying to push, because every single thing could be written in a 3-ring binder and everyone's on table and could sit there and they could choose not to call for a vote. That's how legislators are. So the fact that something's in a bill means much of nothing. You need to push for the very end. The president's talking about your forced stimulus check. The Democrats in the House will talk about it. The Democrats in the Senate, the broadcast media, myself, they're talking about that letter. But you still need to push. So go on social media and push, and I will continue to deliver that tough love to you until I see the ramping up of tweets. We used to do thousands of tweets a day. 17 in a half an hour is a big improvement, but 11 in 12 hours, no bueno. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big noontime broadcast. I'm next back with you on Afternoons LA at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be a big show, followed by Evenings LA at 5 p.m. Then Overnight's Crypto. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Wearing red for my crypto downturn. And finally, finally Evenings Crypto. Make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. I want you part of this family. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.